The strikes mark a second straight day
We need to act to decimate
of major U.S. operations against Iran-linked groups in the Middle East. Miami celebrates Black History Month
about 1,000 years history
at the Voodoo Museum. And after first weekend of the Caribbean Series,
they play with passion, just like us.
Some teams are starting to stand out. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Today is Monday, February 5th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
The U.S. striking back against Iran-backed rebels responsible for the death of American soldiers. They're the same group responsible for attacking commercial ships near the Red Sea this past month.
And as Kaplan's Hannah Kosoff reports, President Biden gave an update on the effectiveness of the response.
The U.S. and U.K. confirmed strikes on over 30 Houthi targets in Yemen, marking a second consecutive day of major operations against Iran-linked groups in the region. Houthi rebels assert their attacks on global shippings are a response to Israel's actions in Gaza and vow to retaliate against the latest coalition strikes.
The Yemeni armed forces affirm that the response to the Americans and British attacks is inevitable and that any new aggression will not remain unpunished.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan states that the U.S. will take further action to deter attacks on U.S. troops in the Middle East.
When he ordered them and when he conducted them, that was the beginning of our response, and there will be more steps to come.
Those strikes came just one day after U.S. airstrikes in Iraq and Syria, which were launched in response to the 3 American soldiers killed in a drone attack in Jordan a week ago.
Hannah Kosoff with Caplin News.
A man from Broward County facing charges this morning in a crash that killed a deputy. As WPTV's Cassandra Garcia reports, the hearing was Saturday in Port St. Lucie.
30-year-old Michael Anthony Addison received several charges from 3 different departments. Those agencies include Florida Highway Patrol, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, and the Broward County Sheriff's Office. He was given no bond and faces multiple felony charges, including homicide.
As it relates to those counts, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We do record these proceedings.
Trooper Fink was killed in a car wreck on I-95 early Friday morning while trying to pursue Addison, who deputies say was driving recklessly. We heard from Trooper Fink's mother, Heather Yoki Fink, for the first time. In a statement, she said their family is grateful for the outpour of love and support from the community. She added that it still doesn't feel real.
That was reporter Cassandra Garcia from WPTV. According to Martin County deputies, Michael Anthony, who is from Lauderdale by the Sea, hid in a residential area and was arrested after a successful manhunt to find him.
The Florida Department of Health is on the record this morning with a notice of rabies after a strange incident at a movie theater involving bats, but not the one on the big screen. A theater in Fort Pierce suffered a bat-related incident after 3 bats were found in a movie theater. There have been no reports of anyone getting bit, but doctors want to make sure and are telling people to be aware.
Well, it's deadly, but the symptoms they take a long time to develop, so the incubation period is really long, so that's why it's important to take care of it before you develop any symptoms.
Staff members of the movie theater attempted to move the bats through the emergency exit. They believe the bat entered through a small hole in the roof. No one, including the bats and employees who moved them out, were harmed during the incident.
The Marlins have loaned out Lone Depot Park this morning to some of the best international baseball players in the world. Caplin News reporter Esteban Rodriguez took some of the action in at the Caribbean Series.
Every year, professional baseball teams will face off in a tournament called the Caribbean Series, and this year it's being held here in Miami at Lone Depot Park. For the first time since the series started in 1949, Miami, the capital of Latin America, is hosting the tournament and bringing Latinos and Caribbeans together.
Well, we're rooting for Mexico, man. We're happy, we're ready, man. We want Mexico to win, but we're 2 games down, and hopefully against Panama we get something going, rolling back and turning tables around, man.
My team that won the league this year was Licey, who is representing the Dominican Republic today, so I'm definitely rooting for my guys to win it all. You know, hopefully we got our first loss with Venezuela, but it's okay. We beat Nicaragua yesterday.
Well, I'm rooting for Team Puerto Rico all the way. We just gotta keep playing the way we are actually playing right now. Just hit by hit, play smart ball, and also like hustle up all the way.
3 games have been held every day from the start of the series until Wednesday, February 7th. From there, the teams that have made it to the semifinals will continue to play to get to the championship game. And some fans are already starting to notice the stronger teams right off the bat.
Well, I think Venezuela is the strongest one, to be honest. Their hustle, they got pitching, they got bats, they run, they play with passion, just like us. So they're a really strong team.
Also, Puerto Rico is always good. You know, they have good defense. The best defense, I think, in the whole Caribbean series right now is Puerto Rico. So, yeah, those are the strongest teams I see right now.
The finale of this series will be held on Friday, February 9th, where the champion will be decided. For Kaplan News, I'm Esteban Rodriguez.
This morning, soccer fans in Hong Kong are upset with Lionel Messi after he did not play in a friendly match between Inter Miami and Hong Kong's best 11. The game was sold out to a crowd of 40,000 fans, and some are calling for a refund. Some fans were chanting, "Where is Messi?" and refund during the match. Fans spent upwards of $2,000 just to see him.
They weren't cheap. Most expensive football ticket ever in Hong Kong, I believe. So I totally understand the sentiments and the disappointment.
Even though Messi was dealing with a nagging injury he suffered last season, fans are still furious and disappointed they couldn't get a chance to see the player. This was likely the last time they could see Messi play in their hometown.
Start prepping for the soccer season because FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming with some high-profile games here in South Florida. One of the quarterfinals will be played at Hard Rock Stadium. The global soccer governing body says that the tournament will consist of 104 matches across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. It will now feature 48 national teams instead of 32. The other quarterfinals will be held in Boston, Los Angeles, and Kansas City, and Missouri. Semifinals will be held in Dallas and Atlanta. Hey, who knows? Maybe Messi will play in this one.
Waking up from hoop dreams this morning for the FIU men's basketball team after a strong weekend showing. Kaplan News reporter Kimora Miller reports from the Ocean Bank Convocation Center.
FIU Hoop looks to go against Sam Houston, a top competitor within their conference, after being short 3 players and after suffering a great loss last week. Panther fans join the excitement as the FIU men's basketball team plays another competitor within their conference at home. The energy in the arena did not disappoint for a weekend game at the bank. The passion from the players was shown on the court just as much as it was from the bench. Even though the boys were down 3 players for this game, they didn't let that stop them from getting a win to spark back their confidence as they take on the rest of their season.
Today's game was all about culture, character, and toughness. I'm just so proud of our guys. You know, this is the first place team coming in here. We had a really, really rough game Thursday, but, you know, basketball and life is all about how you respond, and we couldn't have responded any better tonight, and just so proud of them, and so grateful to Panther Nation for showing up tonight. They had every reason not to come out after what happened Thursday, so we're just so grateful for their undying support, and, you know, glad that our guys, you know, showed up and showed out today.
I think when you play Division I basketball, you take for granted all the opportunities that you get, and we did that the past few games, which is why we fell short. But today we came with a lot of energy and passion, and that's why we pulled out the W. You got to stay locked in through the makes, the misses. It's all based on percentages. I know I shoot a high clip, so does Javante and P and all those other guys. Just to stay confident. I got guys that believe in me and they're going to continue to look for me and pass me the ball. I got to be ready to knock down shots and do the same for them as well. And we did that today.
And the game went great. Ups and downs in the first half, but for the most part, we had the energy right. We're playing good defense. Our shots just weren't falling. But the guys were really connected, and I think that's kind of what helped us prevail to get the win. Not letting anybody, you know, wander off in their own head and just stay with the family atmosphere and see what we could do with that. Last 10 seconds, felt like the season was kind of right there in our arms, and I seen the matchup I had, kind of just got to the shot, and it happened to go in. So I'm thankful for that.
FIU Hoops looks to continue this momentum as they take on Middle Tennessee next weekend. I'm Kimora Miller, reporting from Kaplan News.
The Miami Heat battled against the red-hot Los Angeles Clippers last night. The Heat, who have struggled as of late, continued to do so against Los Angeles as they shot 26% from 3 to the Clippers' 41. That would eventually end up being the difference in the game as the Clippers would win 103-95. Miami will stay at home on Tuesday and fight their in-state rivals, the Orlando Magic.
Taylor Swift making a surprise announcement while accepting one of her 2 Grammys.
They say that 13th is her lucky number. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
It's about like 1,000 years history.
Black History Month celebrated South Florida style. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house in internet breaking, record breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
February Festival at South Florida's Voodoo Museum. This month is Black History Month, and all throughout February, we're taking a look at what's going on here in South Florida.
Caplin News reporter Daniela Zulueta takes us to the Miami International Voodoo Museum.
Miami celebrates Black History Month this Friday to honor the rich cultural heritage and contributions of the Haitian community.
The mambo will use the sounds to call the spirit.
Emmanuel Millen, an FIU alumni, is the director of the Miami International Voodoo Museum and opened the nonprofit on October 2019. The modern-day misconception about voodoo is that it is witchcraft and relating to evil, but to the Haitian community, they find this as a way of a spiritual being.
And this is about like 1,000 years history of African descent, culture, tradition, civilization, and that's all it's about.
And he even gave us a lecture about what these specific pieces mean to his culture.
It will give a sound of when they used to whip the slaves. A Haitian slave went to Louisiana and they transport the rhythm of jazz, and then that's how jazz got developed. I believe in democracy, I believe in freedom, and Haiti has the history of the first republic that abolished slavery, and I embrace that.
The Voodoo International Museum will be hosting tours throughout the month of February. Reporting in North Miami for Caplin News, I'm Daniela Zulueta.
Taylor Swift won her 13th Grammy at Sunday night's awards show in Los Angeles. Swift won for Best Vocal Album for Midnight, and after accepting her award, Swift announced she will release a new album. Her 11th album will be called The Tortured Poets Department and is expected to be released on April 19th. After Taylor returned to the stage to accept the 4th Album of the Year trophy, a Grammys record.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Anthony Cruz.
And I'm Valentina Gaspari. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.